Hey guys, it's Chase again. This video, I kind of just wanted to touch base, maybe get some feedback on shows you guys are watching on Netflix, TV shows, movies, maybe too, and to clue you in on what I'm watching and what I've watched recently, what I'm watching currently, what I've liked, what I haven't liked, what's kind of so-so in the middle. So just a little short video about that. You get some feedback. I'm always looking for suggestions about new movies, TV shows, excuse me, that are good. Maybe a good suggestion of a movie too. Netflix has so much on there. I have Netflix as well as Hulu and Amazon Video and HBO Now, so I have way too much to watch all the time, so I can't really keep up with it, and I'm always open to a new show or movie. I've been kind of on a TV show binge, though. I've been slacking on my movies lately, but I want to get back on that. I'm hoping to get back on that. But the TV shows have come fast, and they've come aplenty. Right now, currently, as we speak, I've been watching Bloodline. I just started that earlier this week. I'm already pretty deep into it. I'm into the I think 7th or 8th episode of the first season. It's funny. It was in my video queue, Netflix, and I just decided to watch it because I've browsed past it. You know, you know, go through a movie or go through your queue, and you go past something you added, and you don't play it, or you don't watch it. So it's something that I've gone through multiple times, and I know I've done that with a ton of shows and movies that still sit in my queue and been sitting in my queue probably for multiple years now, and I have never decided to watch them. I should just break down and do it, get it over with. Maybe it's great, maybe it's something I should have watched a long time ago, maybe it's something that'll change my life forever. I doubt that, but maybe. Bloodline, I like it so far. I think people have complained about the slow plot and not having a whole lot going on. I don't really mind that. I like the setting. I personally live in the Tampa Bay area in Florida. I've been down to the Keys. I've never actually been down all the way to Key West, but I've actually been to the island that they've had this take place on, Isla Morada, whatever, however you say it. I've been to that. I stayed at the Postcard Inn down there. I guess they closed that down, which is sad. But great place to party, though. I can see I had a really good place to party, have a good time, and just forget about, stress in your life for a couple days or a weekend or a week, however long you stay down there. But that's where the show is set, and I like it so far. I really do. Sam Shepard as the father, the patriarch of the family. Sissy Spacek as the matriarch, the mother of the family. Admittedly, I haven't seen Sissy Spacek in anything since JFK. She has been, I don't know if she's been slacking or she's been doing things and I haven't watched them, but that's the last thing I remember her from. And then Carrie. So I feel like I've gotten some really specific points in her career. Carrie, which kind of started her career, JFK, which is kind of her peak, maybe middle part of her career, and now Bloodline, kind of going into her latter part of her career. So I need to maybe get on my Sissy Spacek and see some more movies and TV shows. Maybe people out there, you could recommend some Sissy Spacek stuff. I feel like I'll continue to say Sissy Spacek. I'm going to screw up on it and not say it right, but Sissy Spacek. Yeah. So anything that you suggest from her filmography, a good movie that I haven't seen before, I'm really trying to tap into what I've seen from her. That's the three things that come to mind. JFK, Carrie, and Bloodline. So, open to that. But other than that, you have Kyle Chandler, who I've seen in a few things. Funny, my biggest memory of him, and I haven't seen him in a ton, was King Kong, as the actor who was was supposed to be when they went out on the boat, when they went to the island to film the movie. He was the famous actor in the movie, fictional actor in the movie, and that's the last thing I remember him from. I know people rave about Friday Night Lights. I don't care for network television too much. I find it boring. I don't care for TV shows that have recurring arcs. What I mean by that is that I don't like when a TV show starts over every week. If you know what I follow, some of them don't. I understand that, but a lot of them do. I've never been a big fan of Law and Order. Those kind of shows. People will kill me for that, or but I don't care for those kind of shows. I want a story that builds each episode and tells a story within a larger story. And I found that the TV shows from like AMC, FX, HBO, Showtime, those other those networks, the shows are better. In my mind, the quality's better because you're telling a story over a season, and you're building upon that story. And you could be telling a story within a series as well. Sometimes the show doesn't reboot at the end of the season and start over. It just continues on, obviously. But the main plot, there could be a plot within a season that you're telling, or a plot within the whole series that's built upon each season. That's what I like. I don't care for network television too much. So Friday Night Lights seems to me like something that you would find on ABC. I'm not surprised it's on there. So I never watched it. I don't know him from much else, but he's good in this so far. I'm not 100% sure. I might have seen the actor who plays what's his name? The brother, Danny. Yeah, Danny. I can't remember his name either. I can't remember his actual name. But Danny is not an antagonist of the show, but it's there's the narration from Kyle Chandler over the show in a couple different instances, where it's kind of foreboding, it's foreshadowing something that happens in the future. They've flashed forward a couple of times to give you a tidbit of what happened, why the narration is necessary, and it kind of presents like a flash forward, but we're telling the story from a past point of view, but that's the current, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. Linda Cardellini, if I'm saying that correctly. I know her from a number of different things. Obviously, Scooby-Doo comes to mind. I never had the opportunity to see the second one, the privilege to see it. I'm glad I didn't. The first one I never really cared for. Scooby-Doo, I'm not a big fan. I watched the show when I was a kid. It was something to watch. But Linda Cardellini from Grandma's Boy, and I'm blanking on anything else right now, but I like her. I like her as the role she's in. From what you find out through the show, I don't want to spoil a whole lot. I feel like I spoil things. I probably am, but she's kind of somebody they depend on in the family for certain things, but other portions she's kind of like the forgotten sibling in a family that's dominated by men. Obviously you have Danny, you have who's the brother, Kevin, I think is the other brother, and in Kyle Chandler's role, John is maybe the stronger of the brothers. But she's kind of forgotten about because of another instance, another sibling. I won't go into it. I don't want to spoil things, but I just want to give my reaction to the show. But it's good so far. I don't really mind not having a ton of action because the story within the family is interesting, and I like it so far. I really do like it so far. I like the setting. Even though I'm not a very beachy person, as you can tell, my complexion is, probably from the Siberian part of this world. So I'm not a very tan person. I'm not a beachy person, never really have been. Went to the beach a million times when I was a kid because we lived down here, but as I've gotten older, I've never really cared to go to the beach. I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe it'll grow on me as I get older. I don't think so. But that's where it's set, and it's cool, the resort that they own there. in the show, and it kind of all the plot of it is very simple, but it's interesting, and the dynamics they've created within the family has created the tension, and you've become invested in the characters, and I would say this is another hit for Netflix originals. I think this is another good show. I'm not. I guess I might not be prepared to say it's the best Netflix original. I like Orange Is the New Black, but I'm not sure if it's. I don't know. I guess I'd have to go back and look at all the Netflix originals. Marco Polo. I mean, that one's okay. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if you can't really call Arrested Development original. They rebooted the series on Netflix, but now I'm forgetting my Netflix originals. There's like Netflix sponsored shows that weren't made by Netflix but are like the name on it. Like Peaky Blinders has the Netflix name, so they own the distribution rights to distribute, to show to have the show in America, in the U.S., in North America. I'm guessing they have the rights. Obviously, in the U.K., Blinders probably is owned by BBC4 or not BBC4. Am I saying BBC4? But BBC in general. But maybe another network, Sky. I know Sky is the other network out there. I'm not 100% sure who owns it, but I know Netflix puts their name on whatever they have the rights to show in North America. So I guess that's why they have the name on it. So I'm really trying to figure out what's actually a Netflix original and what's not. But Bloodline, I guess, is a Netflix original, but I would say it's another score for them. I think it's another good show, something I've enjoyed so far. That's what I'm watching currently. Another Netflix original, which I wouldn't call their best, but I thought it's an okay show, is Grace and Frankie. I kind of watched the show because I like Martin Sheen and Sam. What his name is? I'm gonna screw up his name now. Sam Waterston from Law and Order lore, which again, I'm not a fan of it, but I know I'm from that. Or in the show, you have Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda are the Grace and Frankie, the leading actresses in the TV show, with cameos from a podcast I listened to, June Diane Raphael, who all we know from How Does It Get Made, the podcast with Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer, and they digest terrible movies and go over them and review them and talk about them. I listen to that podcast as well, and I would definitely recommend it. She's in the TV show as well. I mean, it's not probably catered to my age, but it's an interesting show. Ethan Embry's in it. I know him from a couple different things. But not a bad show. I just got done watching the second season of it, and I guess I would watch the third season. I mean, it's not a wonderful show. It's not action packed at all. I like Lily Tomlin though. Lily Tomlin is she's funny, and she plays a great role in this show, and then Jane Fonda plays her role, which kind of feeds off of Lily Tomlin's role in the show. So it's a cool show. I mean, I would recommend watching it if you like that. If you like the plot, the way it boils down, and it's something to watch. Again, like I said, I wouldn't say it's the best Netflix original that they have. I watched that. I watched a number of different things. I could probably look at my queue right now. But I watched a ton. Watched a ton of shows. But yeah, Bloodline is currently what I'm watching. What else did I watch? I don't know. I can't remember right now. But if there's anything that you guys are watching, if you guys have found anything on any of those platforms, whether it be Netflix or Amazon Video, Hulu, or even HBO Now. I've been watching Game of Thrones big time, so I'm keeping current on that. That's only happening every week, so it's not like as much in my brain right now as Bloodline, which I've probably watched an episode or 2 or 3 episodes a day in the last few days. Game of Thrones is a week by week affair. So, I guess I could give my thoughts on Game of Thrones so far this season. I liked it so far. I have liked it so far. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't like spoiling things. But yeah, I mean, I've liked previous seasons better. But again, this is different. This is completely different. This is a whole new story. A lot of people thought that was one of the episodes where, I think it was the second episode now that I'm thinking about it, where Theon goes back to the Iron Islands and he actually comes back after his father dies, after the brother of the father. I can't remember all the names. Theon's father gets killed by his brother, his uncle, Theon's uncle. And I thought that was cool. I mean, that's a part of the show, a setting in the show that hasn't been discussed much, which is the Iron Islands. You know, I love the saying, "What is dead may never die." I mean, that's pretty cool. And then how everything really centers around the water and sailing and being men of the sea. So I thought people said that one of those episodes wasn't strong, and I thought it was actually one of the stronger ones of the series so far. I guess I can't really say much else without spoiling anything. And if anybody watches this and hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything for them. But it's been interesting. It's been really interesting. One of the not this last Sunday's episode, but the one before that. I mean, it's something that that you didn't even think there was anything behind it, and then it comes out of nowhere. Like, wow, that's why he says that. That's why his name is that. So yeah, I think people know what I'm talking about when I say that. But yeah, I look forward to it every week. So if that's an endorsement of the show, then there you go. I hope it goes on for 5 more seasons. I doubt that that's going to happen, but who knows. But I've enjoyed it so far, and I'll continue to enjoy it. I'm going to have a problem with this. I like spoiling things. I like talking about things, and that's the only way I can really talk about it is if I can go into the details. So that's going to be a problem going forward for me. I guess I have to put spoiler alerts on things. Maybe I can do that. Maybe that's the solution. Is I'll put spoiler alert on the video title when discussing things, and maybe that'll deter people from watching it until they watch the show or the movie. Maybe that's something that I can do to stop people from being spoiled. So that's all. Yeah, again, just give me some suggestions on shows on any of the platforms, movies, TV shows, documentaries. I love documentaries. Anything like that would be great. So that's all, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.